Alright, so these are all of my base products, and this video I've already filmed and my entire video was out of focus. It was very frustrating. So I already know what I'm going to declutter and what I'm going to keep. So I feel like this one is going to be relatively streamlined. Hopefully that means my babbling and my tangents will be at a minimum, but who's to say? I don't know. I think an easy one that we can move out of the way quickly is setting sprays. I have two here from All Nighter. I bought like a 2-pack during the holidays last year. Love it. I've been slowly making my way through my other setting sprays and now I only have 2 left. And then I did purchase 2 from e.l.f. One of them is like a coconut spray, I think, and then the other one is the oil control mist spray. I also have one from Charlotte Tilbury that I used recently in a Charlotte Tilbury full face video, but I have that back in a box because I recently bought that from Sephora and I do plan on doing like a haul video, so that is off camera, but that is also a setting spray that I have. I feel like that's a pretty good number. I use setting spray every day. There are other brands that I would like to try once I've worked through some of these, but I'm definitely holding on to both of these, plus the couple other ones that I have either coming in the mail or that I'll talk about in an upcoming haul video. We can also talk about these packets here. These are little sample powders and stuff that I got from a Meow Cosmetics order. I've had these for years. I've never used them. I don't really feel like I'm ever going to use them, so I'm just gonna get rid of these. Now let's move on to primers. I have 3 of the mini primed and peachy primers from Too Faced. I think these are really good, but I don't think they make these anymore. This one is almost empty. It's just full of air. Probably a couple more uses and then it's done. And then I have 2 backups. They're all travel sizes. I use these regularly in the summer months when I'm trying to keep my face from getting too oily. So I'm going to keep all 3 of these. And this one is a glowy primer from Charlotte Tilbury. It's the Brightening Youth Glow Primer. This is also a really nice primer whenever I do need more moisture, usually in the winter months when my skin is drier. So I'm going to hold on to this one as well. I do have one sort of priming product. This is an SPF from Australian Gold, and this is a tinted mineral sunscreen, and it used to be a favorite of mine. I used to really love this, but I have other SPFs that I prefer over this. I prefer chemical sunscreens just because they feel nicer on my skin, and also I've had this for a long time, several years, so I don't think the SPF in here is good anymore anyway, so I'm going to declutter this. Alright, let's look at powders real quick. This one from e.l.f., this is just my powder compact that I keep in my backpack for touch-ups. I have hit pan on it and there's not a lot left. And then for loose powders, which I use on a more regular basis, oh, I am going to keep that e.l.f. one, by the way. I'm just going to put that back in my backpack. But I have 3 loose powders. One of them is the Flower Beauty Translucent Matte. This is almost empty. I have to really shake it to get any product out, and I'm not really sure how or if I'm going to be able to get all of the product out. Like, I'm not sure if I can remove this part. I think I could with some patience. So this one is almost finished. I really liked it. It's like a thin HD powder, which I do really like, so gonna finish this one. And then this one is from Too Faced. It's their primed Peach Perfect mattifying loose setting powder. This smells like peaches, which I'm sure not everybody loves. I don't mind it. This is a good mattifying setting powder. I don't think they make this one anymore either. I still have a lot of it left, but I have no problem using this up. And then this one from Essence, I haven't tried it yet. It's the My Skin Perfector Loose Fixing Powder in the shade Light. Yeah, I haven't even taken the seal off yet. Never tried it. I was just always focused on using other powders in my collection, but that's fine. I don't think loose powders expire very quickly, and I do go through them on a regular enough basis that I don't think it's a problem. So once I use up the one from Flower, then I'll focus on these 2, not decluttering anything from that section. I do have 2 powder foundations. This one from Makeup Revolution, this is in the shade P5.7, and I like it because it has an olive undertone and it has a fantastic shade range. It's very affordable too. So if you're looking for a powder foundation that's affordable and has a good shade range, Makeup Revolution I definitely recommend checking out. I've already gone through one of these. This is my second one. I really enjoy it. And then this one was a gift with purchase. It's the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Foundation Powder. This is in the shade Fair Light, and this is actually just the tiniest bit too deep for me to use as a traditional powder foundation on my skin when I'm at my palest. But if I use a fluffy brush and use it as a setting powder, it works fine. So that's how I'm going to use it up. So I'm just going to finish it and use it like a setting powder, even though it is technically a powder foundation. Now for foundations, I think the majority of them I am going to keep. I really like most of these formulas, and yeah, I think they're good, but I am going to get rid of a couple. So this one is the newest to my collection. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation in the shade 2 Neutral. This is a great match for me, and it is a really beautiful full coverage foundation. I definitely mix it. The majority of the times I use it, I mix it with other more liquidy formulas or more natural coverage formulas, just because this is very heavy duty. It's not an everyday foundation for me by any means, but this photographs beautifully. I wore this on my wedding day. Really great. Love it. Keeping it. And speaking of liquidy formulas that are great mixers, the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better Foundation Plus Skincare. I'm in the shade Fair Neutral 11. I think when I buy another one, because I'm kind of like at the 1/3 mark, I shook up the bottle on accident, but it is like almost empty. I only have like a third left. I do plan on buying this again. I really like this formula a lot. When I buy it again, I might go maybe one shade lighter, if that's even possible. I feel like this is pretty light on their range, but yeah, I think I could just afford to go a tiny bit lighter whenever I get my next bottle, but this is fantastic. Another liquidy one is this Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Tinted Moisturizer from ColourPop. I'm really glad that they sell these little tubes. I think this is like $5, and that way you can get a really good feel for what your shade is. I have the shade Light 7W, and even though it is a really sheer foundation, this is a very warm, slightly too deep shade for me. So it is something that I will mix with lighter foundations to finish. I think it's a really nice formula, and if I were to get the full size, I would just have to go down a couple shades. But because it is a really lightweight tinted type of product, it's not super noticeable. Like, it's not like it's way too dark and I can't salvage it. So I'm gonna hold on to that one, and if I decide to buy the full size, then I will go several shades lighter. One foundation that I have that is obviously too deep, but I don't mind, is this one from Smashbox. It's the 15 Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation. This is in the shade 2.15. I don't have a lot of it left, probably like just the very bottom part. And I use this as a mixer. I love the formula of this foundation. I'm pretty sure Smashbox changed the name of this. I think it's now 24 Hour. And the shade 1.05 is a light neutral leaning olive undertone, and it's like the perfect shade for me. I love it so much. So whenever I am buying more foundations, I'm pretty good with the amount that I have now. When I am going out and buying more, I will repurchase that 24-hour one with the hopes that it is the same formula as this 15-hour one. But I have no problem using this up as a mixer. I don't have a lot left, and I love the formula. This one here from Kevyn Aucoin, it's the Sensual Skin Enhancer in the shade SX03. This also has an olive undertone. It's like a super high coverage concealer pot. This is expired. It smells horrific. I am going to declutter it. This one here from Pacifica, it's the Alight Clean Foundation. I'm in the shade 33NL, Neutral Light. And I don't think this is very neutral. I think it's still relatively warm. And it also is very dark. Like, it's too deep for me. And with it being like such a full coverage foundation, I find it difficult to make that work. And I think it might also have a tendency to oxidize, so then it gets even darker once it's been on my skin for a while. I was so excited to try this, and part of me wants to keep it and just use it as a mixer, which I have done with other products in the past, but it's like, how many darker foundations can I keep with the intention of mixing them? Like, how much is too much, you know? So I'm kind of on the fence. Part of me would rather just repurchase another shade that's lighter that just matches me already. But yeah, I already have a full coverage foundation that matches me, that I enjoy. So part of me feels like I should just cut my losses with this one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pass this one on. And then these two CC creams from IT Cosmetics, they are both in the shade Fair, and one of them is the regular formula, one of them is the illuminating formula, which I was under the impression that the illuminating formula had like glitter in it, but I really don't notice any major difference between these two. I really like both of them. I love that they're SPF 50, so I'm gonna hold on to both of these. And last is concealer. This is the one that I feel like I will get rid of the most things from this part of my collection, because a lot of these, they either I don't like the formula at all, or the shade is just like so wrong for me. And that is my own fault. Why am I purchasing concealers online, and why haven't I learned my lesson? Because I literally just ordered another concealer online from Kosas. I'm really hoping it matches me. One product that I'm definitely getting rid of is this NYX concealer palette. I do not like this. I remember watching someone pan this and their product looked really creamy. It looked like it was like a very nice formula. This is like super dry. I don't know if I just got a really old one or what, but I do not want to put this on my face. It is like cakey and thick and slightly waxy, and yeah, I just don't like the formula of this at all, so I'm not gonna keep this. Also, I have two concealers here from IT Cosmetics. So what happened, the reason I have all these like IT Cosmetics base products, like the illumination one also is a part of this. My friend recently moved into a new house and she received a package that was ordered by the previous owner, and she tried to get in touch with that person. She tried to figure out a way to return these products to her, but she was just never able to do so, so she ended up having to just like keep the package, and in it were 2 of these CC illumination products plus 2 of these concealers. And my friend has a deeper skin tone, so none of these work for her, so she asked me if I wanted to keep them. So I kept this for myself. I like it, I'm keeping it, and then I gave one to my mom. And then these 2 concealers, I'm just gonna give this one to my mom. It's still in the packaging. If she likes it, she can keep it. And then I did try one out for myself. I remember having like a travel size of this forever ago and not loving it, but I thought I'd give it another try. It's still too heavy. It's still too thick. I just don't like this on my under eyes at all. I don't put concealer really on my face that often, but even this I wouldn't want to put on my face. It's just like very thick. It says full coverage and they mean it. It's correct. But it's just like full coverage with a really heavy formula. So I'm not keeping this one either. Let's talk about some products that I am keeping. So I'm definitely gonna keep these 2 color corrector pots. This one from NYX, they don't make anymore. I don't have a lot of it left. It's a shame. I really love it. It's a long time favorite. Gonna hold on to that one. And then this one from Flower Beauty. This is in the shade Light Peach. I don't like this one as much, but I still like it. So I'm gonna continue using it and finish it up eventually. So I have 2 concealers here that are not a good match for me at all. The first one is from e.l.f. It's the 16-hour camo concealer in the shade Light Beige. This is incredibly yellow. It's like way too yellow for me. So I can't make it work. Even when I try to mix it with other products, it just still pulls like incredibly yellow. So I'm gonna declutter this one. And same with this one from Too Faced. This is in the shade Almond. This one is also very yellow. And both of those concealers are more full coverage. So even when I try to mix them with other concealers, I think because it is so full coverage, that yellow just pulls through and just looks very garish on me, because I don't really have like strong yellow undertones like that. Just tried to make them work. I couldn't do it, so I'm gonna pass on both of them. These 3 concealers I love. I love all of them for 3 different reasons. So the fuller coverage one out of the 3 is this one from ColourPop. It's the No Filter concealer in the shade Light 10. And you would think, like, given the bottle, like what it looks like, you would think it's like way too light, but this is actually a really great match for me. And this is like a medium coverage concealer. I really enjoy it, love it. And I also love this one from ColourPop, the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Concealer. Even though they look really different in the bottle, these are both fantastic matches for me. So this one is in the shade Light 40N, and this is also a really great match. This is a much more lightweight, natural concealer. Love the formula of it. Really appreciate that. This one here from Makeup Revolution, this was like a pleasant surprise. I bought it when it was on clearance for half off. I think I got it for like $5 from the Ulta website. This is the Eye Bright in the shade Light, and this is like a clicky pen type of concealer. And this is a very lightweight concealer, but it looks amazing on like no makeup days. You know, sometimes I have to be somewhere. I'd like to put something like around my under eyes just to conceal like the darkness on my under eyes and also that vein I have, and maybe the redness around my nose and stuff, but I don't want to do like a full face of makeup. But whenever I put concealer on those parts of my face, the redness on the other parts of my face kind of look too contrasted, and it looks really unnatural. Like I essentially, if I'm gonna do anything to conceal anything on my face, I kind of have to just put put something all over my face. So this is like a great natural product. And the formula is so beautiful. It's so skin-like. This is like a little hidden gem in the drugstore. And yeah, I just really like it. I was just very pleasantly surprised. And I'm going to keep it. So I only have 3 concealers. I do have another one from Kosas coming in the mail, but I am on the market to try some new formulas. If you have any recommendations, ideally I'd like to find something with a good shade range, preferably something that has a light neutral leaning olive undertone if possible, but I do want it to have like at least medium coverage. I do like to have a higher coverage concealer for like most days. So if you have any recommendations, like a creamy, nice coverage formula, please let me know. Cruelty-free if possible. So everything on this side here is what I'm keeping. Everything on this side is what I'm passing on. I feel really good about that. Face products or something, obviously I use them most days. Every day I wear makeup, so there are things that I go through regularly. I don't feel like I have way too much in any of the categories, and I really like all the formulas that I have here, so I feel like this is good. I don't think this is one of the categories that I really felt like I needed to go in and like get rid of a ton of stuff, but there were some products that just weren't working for me that I'm more than ready to pass on. So I think that's everything in my collection. I think that was the last part of it. I've done eye makeup, I've done lip products, and then this final one is face products. I hope you enjoyed watching my declutter. I feel like the last time I did like a full collection declutter was, I might have done like a smaller one last year, but I think it's been a couple years since I've done one to this extent. I was just ready to pare things down. Anyway, I have so many more videos coming out in December. I just have so many videos that I am excited to film, so please stay tuned. But in the meantime, that's everything I have. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.